We are live. Where's the timer? Hey, I'm going to give a little time for everybody to come in. I um, just posted it out there. If you're coming in and wanting to join us, please do. And let me see. Let me get the word out to my friend Will. Will. Live. We find George. My little geezer. Right now. If you're just coming on, fast forward this part. This is one of those moments that I decided I'm going to have time to do a stream tonight. I really wanted to make Mobile Geezers stream, but of course, work said, no, you're not allowed to do that tonight. So I am just here killing time somehow and aimlessly talking. I got to kill that. And let me hit up a few other people. If you care to pop in on the chat. Let's see. Does it say 3 are watching? There you got 3 people out there. Lurkers, as Viper calls them. I like that. So 2. Now we're down to 2. Please just say hi and let me know who's watching. And I would love to know who's lurking. That's all. And then I won't bother you again. Max Dutton. Hi, how you doing? I was watching one of your videos about T-Mobile Wi-Fi. I just signed up with T-Mobile this afternoon and have a phone on the way. Cool. Very cool. Max, please come back and leave a comment once you get signed. You're all set up with your device, both devices, and tell me what's going on. Hey, Keisha, how you doing? Welcome. Thank you for stopping in. Doing good. Thanks for asking. Hey, Gary Brown, how you doing? What's going on, man? I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you made it in. So, yeah, I can't say enough. I can't control myself because I can't believe I'm actually getting internet for $55 a month. I'm not doing the automatic pay. I'm willing to pay the $5 because I set when I want to pay. So yeah, just curious, Max. What state? Where are you at? I'm curious. I'm here in New Jersey. Just wondering where you're at there. So, before I get into my topics for tonight that I posted, I'm going to be talking about my Pixel 6. I'm going to talk about Samsung, some thoughts on some things with OnePlus. Brian, thank you. Thank you as always. Oh, I got to get, wait a minute. Rez, I got to get Rez. I'm sorry. Hold on, folks. I have Rez on Telegram. And I know he's literally halfway around the world. Let's see what time it is. I think it's 9:03 a.m. in the Philippines. You're in South Carolina. All right, cool. That's good to know. And I'm just curious. Wow. I'm like I said in the video, I'm very fortunate that I feel that I'm in a certain area here that there are plenty of antennas that's giving me the great coverage. I have a Google Wi-Fi tapped into it, and that's really just operating cameras because my Nest cameras, because it's a pain in the butt to change the Wi-Fi. I have to really have to go and reset each camera. So I keep the Google Wi-Fi around for when I have company and stuff like that. So uh, t- 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 I right now. So yeah, let's see where are we going to go with this. First off, everybody who's popping in, give us a thumbs up. I'm looking at the YouTube stream. Give us the thumbs up, share, get the word out there, and whatever socials you're happen to be on. And yeah, this whole thing is I got a lot of stuff swirling in my head, and it may be phone related, it may not be phone related. I got a lot of things I just want to talk about, and you out there, please, uh, if you catch if it's something I say that catches your fancy, pipe in, share. I want to hear what you all have to say about some of the subjects I'm going to cover. Anyway, Brian, I'm glad you're here, man. I hope all is well with you and the fam. So let me start. Beans, I got a small collection of people here. Um, what's going on? I don't want to really talk about it too much, but I went back to why I don't want to talk about it because I actually made a video about this. I went back to the Pixel 6, and I never gave the Pixel 6 a fair deep dive shot. Okay. And there were a lot of things that was going on with the Pixel 6, and I'm sorry, I'm checking the small town called St. Matthews here in South Carolina. I'm sorry, I'm going to diverge for a second. Max, it's cool that you're in a small town because I always wondered what it's like for the smaller towns getting this YouTube T-Mobile Wi-Fi, because I'm 20 minutes outside Philadelphia, so I'm in what I consider to be a exceptionally saturated area. I can think of a few bad spots for the phone and also for this new Wi-Fi that's coming out, but majority of everywhere's around here should be at no trouble getting that. Back to the Pixel 6. Uh, so I was going to make this my main phone. I'm going to, like this is what I'm carrying every day, day in out. And I didn't put all my apps. I didn't put all my, didn't get Google Pay up and going. And so I set it all up. I put Google Pay. Well, I was putting my cards on there, and I'm sorry, the comments I like. I like Max's. Was he saying here? So far, I've had the Pixel 6 Pro, the Samsung S21. He's got a phone problem like me. The Flip, the Fold 3. I miss the 6 Pro. You have a phone problem. I'm glad I'm not the only one. So I was setting up my Google Pay with the and putting my cards on. I don't think I had one card on there the whole time. Um, and I had trouble with one of my Capital One debit card. I would go and put in the information. It would send me over to Capital One for verification. I go through the motions, verify it, come back, and still it's saying it never verified. And I put my other debit card, my local bank's debit card on there, and it loaded. And I was really, really, I just get this thing when I'm like going, this has got to work. It's never had this problem before. I've, used Google Pay. I set up a phone. I put the cards on there, and everything goes okay. But this one card wouldn't go on. So I hit the help button and type a message telling what my problem is, and then proceeded to, say, I want a phone call. I want a phone call. So the gentleman who called me went through, I explained to him, I know I said I want my Google Pay to work on my phone. I'm setting up a card. I gave him everything I just told you. And For the majority of the conversation, he thought that Google Pay was not setting up in my account. And I'm trying to explain to him that this is an active card. Actually, there are Google services being pulled from this card. I wanted to add the card to my phone using GPay, Google Pay, whatever they want to call it this week. In the end of it all, the gentleman said to me, "It's really everything's fine on our end. You got to call the bank." He really didn't try that hard, if you get my drift. And after discussing with him, he didn't sound like he was in a call center, if you get my meaning. All right, I call Capital One. I talk to them. They go and check they check everything out. And they actually acknowledge seeing that I made several attempts to put my card on my phone, and all the attempts have been approved on their end. They basically, they were saying to me, it's up to Google now to do their portion of setting it up. And the one thing my takeaway was, they said, yeah, Google, they don't allow us to make any kind of ability to go in the back end, as they called it, to get the card approved. And they used to, so they must have made a change in the last few years. Recently, I think, because normally I would have this problem. I've had similar problems. I call up the card, they verify it, boom, it's up and going. I'm just going to look. I'm looking at some of these conversations going here. Pixel 6 is the daily driver for. Oh, yeah, I keep on forgetting that. We got these conversations I can leave here. So far, I had a Pixel 6 Pro. Okay, we phone problem. Let's see. Here's this. Gary Brown. The 6 is his daily driver, just like mine. And let's see. How's the battery life? Brian wants to know. And Gary answers, pretty good, Brian. Take it off the charger 7 a.m. and put it on at 11 at 15%. And I will verify. I get a little. Maybe I'm not on it as much because I have multiple phones. Primarily, I have another phone that I use strictly for work. So yes, all of the complaints. I don't understand why everybody said, "Oh, in the beginning, the battery life is okay," but for a phone like this, we expected a lot more out of it. That's I never. Why? Why? Discussion for another time. Gary here also adds here, I use Google Pay 3 times a week, no problem with Wells Fargo. Well, there's more. First off, so I called back Google and got a hold of another person. Well, actually, I put a request for a call in. This is where it got insane. Okay, completely crazy insane. The nice girl on the phone sounded like she was talking in her kitchen. It's the only way I could put it to you. Right then and there, I knew I was talking to personally, I think it was a third party. It wasn't Google. It was just hired people that are working from home. They sounded like they were in their kitchen, and then proceeded to have the dog bark in the background, and bark to the point where I go, I'm pleading with her. Get the microphone closer to your mouth, first off, and can you make that dog stop barking? And she's going trying to explain to her all what I've been through, and she's not really grasping everything. And then the dog's barking, and now let's add in the kids. I was more pissed that I'm calling a bajillion-dollar company that they have workers. All right, I know we have a pandemic, but they got workers working like they're not Google employees. That's how I feel. I got to look it up here. I don't remember looking here. They're not Google employees. I really think they hired a third party to deal with, and they're all reading from a script. They're all reading from a script. And I came to a point where I'm almost yelling at her, saying, "Please go take yourself in another part of your place. Now I hear the boyfriend in the background talking. The kids are making a ruckus, and the dog's still barking. Eventually, she puts me on hold. I was on hold for 5 minutes, easy 5 minutes, and then we had a pretty good semblance of silence with a very mild, like probably like in another room with the dog barking and with the door closed. In the end, I did not get the card set up. I put my credit cards on there. I got my one debit card on there. So there's more to the story. What's he saying here? Never call those services after 5. Oh, interesting point, Gary. Interesting point. Max is saying, I feel your pain. Yeah, it was painful. It was painful. So anyway, now this is where I got my teeth kicked in. All right, I'm going to use Google Pay. I'm going to look. I went as far as on my setup. I don't know when it's there's this little symbol right there. I try to mimic the just like how Samsung has it swipe from the bottom up. I was trying to make it everything where my thumb gymnastics knew the phone's back to where it is. I got my little folder going. There's my messaging app, and there's my camera. I don't have. Oh, I do have my phone. Do I have that way? I'm pretty sure I do. Anyway, I pretty much have it that way. Anyway, it doesn't take. I go and try to pay at a local convenience store. I've used they're Wawas. If you're from the area, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, they're a chain of convenience stores, and never ever ever they're one of the first adopters to accept tap to pay, and they've updated their little tap thingies where you put your card in probably 3 times. So they're always working on making the situation better for everybody. So it ain't the vendor, it ain't the person I'm buying my cup of coffee from. It would not work. I'm like my head's blown. All right. Now I'm really going to go into a little bit in the weeds. This phone was set up under my personal account, my personal Mike Dixon, all my personal stuff comes to. I didn't put my other account for like YouTube, Joker Tech, Simply Device, whatever I am this week. So I said, all right, I'll bite the bullet. I'll put that account on there. I'll delete it, the app, kind of like make it so it doesn't associate itself with Mike Dixon's account. Set up Simply Your Device because that's what the Gmail is under. Set the card up. And guess what? The debit card finally loads using Simply Device. Do I use no. Yes, no. I have it on my iPhone, but Brian, I've confessed that I am a I'm a Android person. So the iPhone isn't being used nowhere near what it could be. But props to Apple, because if I had a problem, the people at the cards, whoever the card centers are, they all said we can fix it. It's Google again. It's Google. Okay. And what's the other one? Or Samsung. And again, Samsung Pay, featured rich. I love it. It made me start to think, should I just get rid of the Pixel and sell it because it don't work? I have no problems on the Z Flip. Z Flip good. Pixel. So I set it up my cards on under Simply Your Device, and they all load. So to me, if it gives me any more problems, Max, we might talk. So I get everything's like normal, like it's loading the cards. I'm like, oh man, I got this. I go back to my favorite Wawa. I go, all right, I'm going to tap to pay for my junk food, and it don't work. I just leftover wine from dinner. Sorry. Mm. Um. So this gets better. This gets really good too. Uh, did you download the update we got last week? Yes. Yes. And funny you mentioned that because I tried. It still don't work. No working. Yes, Gary, I did. Um, so getting real quick, I have another watch. I have a Moto 360, the last one that was brought out in 2019, and it's paired to this Pixel 6. And I was trying to, give this one a break. Where the other one? I haven't really used it. I used it when I first got it, and then the Samsung watches just took over. That's just what happened for me. Um, Apparently, I set up one of my credit debit cards on there, and the watch worked. The watch let me do GPay. I don't know why, but what gets me the most is a few things. First off, the customer service. That whole thing with those two people. That in the end of the first call, the person was just like, "I'm just reading the script, and I really don't care your problem." You know what? Go call the credit card companies. They'll fix you up. And to have this poor girl, I get it, but I saw that point about after 5. Yeah, it was 8:30, 8 o'clock. So that might be worth a shot. But in the end, I don't want to have to do a factory reset. To only find out, first off, I worked my tail off to get all the apps and all the passwords on it, and get the phone set up. It takes time to do that, and to do a factory reset to only find out it's still not going to work right. I don't know. Trust me. I Wait a minute. I was told, did you reboot the phone? A, really? And B, I can't because I'm using the phone. This way you can verify that it's really me because they use your phone number to see, you're on it's you, that's how they figure this out. So I I don't know if any of you is on Twitter. I put a big thing out on Twitter about, I just went 8 nuts on there. Rez, how you doing? I'm sorry. How you doing, man? Hope all's good in the homeland there. Thank you for stopping by. Am I calling it correct? It's 9:22 a.m. where you're at right now. I always like knowing your time because it just blows my mind. Right now, it's dark, it's cold, it's windy here in New Jersey, so it's probably nice and warm and balmy. I believe in the Philippines. I believe. Uh, so that's what I wanted to start off with, and I really wanted to. I I listened to everybody talk about how this phone had these problems, and let's see if I can get this to dark. Like I put a glass screen protector. It's 10:22 now, 20 a.m. I'm presuming. He's got the smiley face. I like that. Um, Here, let me put that out here. I had a glass screen protector on here, and this fingerprint sensor was just straight up garbage. Cooking lunch and wish me luck. Okay. All right. Well, put me in the background. Just don't get the place on fire. Um, so I played along. I spent a ridiculous amount of money on a screen protector, the recommended Google one. I reset the phone. Like, yeah. I think I'm gonna have to try that. And I don't know if this picks up on there. Ugh. Make this go dark. I don't know if it picks up. This screen protector is one of those films. The Otter Box screen protector, the one of the official ones. And yes, the fingerprint sensor does work better, but this thing is just a grease magnet. I mean, every time I touch it, I can't I can't hide from somebody. They can pull a fingerprint from me right off of this. Gary, you paid $50, so I'm not that crazy, huh? Which one did you get, Gary? And did you go to the Google store to get that? And then I do admit this, I like this case. This is the closest thing they had in for a Pixel 6 that was sort of clear. Uh, don't know what the color they call it, but anyway, it was the most translucent one I could find to still show the true, the red and the pink, I guess you call it, Carl color. Uh, yeah, this has been a weird experience with the Pixel 6. Yeah, damn. Yeah, well, this is the where some things just don't add up right now. I've had screen protectors that had in display screen protectors and a glass fingerprint sensor. I can't remember what phone it was. And it worked. It just I never had such a hot mess with the fingerprint sensor and using the screen protector of my choice that wasn't going to break the bank. Let me see what I got going. 9 people here. Thank you very much. Who all 9 of you. And again, I'll repeat myself. Uh, you just stop in, give us a video, this stream a thumbs up and share and retweet and Snapchat it and all that good stuff. So, mm. um, so yeah. Any hey, Travis MPC, I think his name was. I'm sorry. Let me find my history. Travis, I think it was Travis. Yeah, Travis MPC. Now he did a video. You know what? I almost want to, put something out there to show you, but I don't get in trouble. He challenged a subscriber to switch from Android to an iPhone, and I have to give him mad props, man. We need more videos sort of like that. He can only do so much of that, and to his credit, he says some of the comments would put him at $2,000 to just do for 2 phones, and he just can't. He can't deal with that. Let me see. Max is saying, ooh, wait a minute, wrong thing. We got a thumbs up there, and Max is also saying Google cheaped out on the sensor they use on a 6 and a 6 Pro. I'm going around because my camera's in the way. Yeah, had the same issue. Good. So it wasn't just me. Was that yeah, yeah. The wife broke out a bottle of wine. We had a little pasta tonight, and it's good wine. It's really good. So, well, he said, I'm cooking now. Don't forget, yes, thank you again. Thank you, Rez. Thank you very much. So anyway, his video. When I get done here, I'll put a link in there. But it's really interesting with this video where he did it once with somebody else that was, he was on a Note 9. It was an older phone, and in turn, he gave him a new whatever iPhone 12 or 13. I forget which one it was, but it showed it, an Android user adjusting to iOS and all that what goes on. And then this one, he basically said were some of the comments. And one of the things that stuck out was that the next one, if this person, in this case, this person had a Note 10 Plus, and so he found the same year of an iPhone, which was the 11, and he got her a iPhone 11 Pro, not the Pro Max model, and it was really interesting. And this one I took away is, and it's almost, I don't want to demoralize people. I don't want to say it in the wrong way, but she was truly the average consumer. Phones were important to her enough that she used her S Pen for her business, but outside of that, she just didn't really she followed Travis because she's a YouTuber and she does, like, art. I think she does, like, paintings and artwork, and I guess I don't know, I didn't check out her channel, but it was very interesting to see her true reactions, and 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 that's so refreshing to see people talk about their phones and their relationship to their phones and how they interact with their phones compared to us. And man, we need to hear more of that stuff. I really do. Let's see. It's just your fingerprint sensor's been working fine for me. Yes, Gary, I will admit after I took off the glass fingerprint sensor and went around for a little bit without a screen protector, yes, it worked great. It was pretty darn good. But let's see. It's going to make a liar out of me. Let's see. Ah, a minute. Do it one more time. Let's see. And see, you know, that there, I'm I'm going to blame something. I'm so used to having a fingerprint sensor in the back where you used to just graze it like in the 5A and the 4A 5G. I just would just graze it and boom, comes right up. So um oh, there it is. Okay. Um Gary's saying here, basic function of the phone is most important. I bought it my daughter a Moto G stylus and she loves it. Did you get her the 5G? Now, is that the new one that just came out, or is that like last year's 5G? I just curious. And the Moto line is a great well, I think it's a good they make some good phones. I just wish they would support it longer. And I don't understand why they're well, there's an interesting thing. Moto is one, and I think I've seen some Samsung phones. Uh, mm, hmm. There's a comment in there. Last year one. Okay. Gary says last year. They've been using other uh, SoC chip suppliers. They're into MediaTek. I one time, not long, maybe 2 years ago, they used a Samsung chip in one of their Moto phones. So I'm seeing a shift in some of these companies, and why I also the inexpensive Samsung A12, A10, A11, those lower number A phones are using MediaTek chips. And fellas, people, Samsung could use their own Exynos, and which they do. But surprisingly, I'm seeing MediaTek being used, and I'm seeing MediaTek in other devices like a Motorola phone. That's probably a Snapdragon. I want to say, but that the Moto phone, the Silas, they basically picked up the football uh, from LG and are running with it. So good, good. Uh, I want to jump into. I've been seeing a lot of on Twitter because Twitter's. I'm going to cover some social stuff about me personally, but Twitter's my bag right now. Twitter is my thing, and and some of you, if you're on the socials, there's a lot of comparison between the iPhone 13 and the um, the S22 Ultra, and and there's all these comparisons, and there's all this talk, and we're right now, you know, the Pixel 6 is kind of in the conversation, but one phone it isn't is, and I think I know the answer. I think some of you are going to still say that what I think you're going to say, but OnePlus is not in here. Where's OnePlus? And OnePlus ain't doing no service themselves. They release, I believe, what is the 10, whatever they're calling it, the OnePlus 10, and it's not here in the States. Not yet. I don't know if it's ever going to make it here. I'm getting emails left and right, for a little, you know, for the nines. And then granted, that's last year's phone, but a guy like Rishi who takes really phenomenal pictures with just about any phone camera, but OnePlus is his thing. Where's OnePlus in this conversation? Where do you guys think OnePlus is going to be? And how come there's no comparison to a Hasselblad from the Pro 9 Pro versus the yeah, okay. The software change is killing OnePlus. And Marquez Brownlee mentions it in his recent review of the S22 and S22 Plus. And there's another interesting factor too. I'm coming up with all this weird shit. Um, Last year's S21 Plus got no love, like no conversation. But now I've heard more about S22 Plus than I did for the S20 Plus, the S21 Plus. Now S22 is in the conversation, and it's just I'm just sharing this dynamic that's shifting here, and we all knew Samsung is a powerhouse. We all knew that Samsung is the and as he said it, the iPhone for Android, and they're becoming that way. They're the go-to to get stuff in people's hands. The only way that Google is going to get their stuff in people's hands is going to go through Samsung, and it's a shame where OnePlus isn't in the conversation. Uh, Motorola is sleeping at the wheel and just letting the train go by them because they have an opportunity here. Motorola makes some really nice stuff, and Gary, pipe in with your daughter's Moto G stylus. If I would think you would approve of that device because the software is ultra clean. If they just could give you more support in time, just 1 year of OS and 2 years of I think security patches, which is ridiculous. And they came out with a phone that was a pretty good camera phone, good with the camera, top tier chipset. Then you could have another player here, uh, not replacing Samsung, but putting in their mark in. Okay, how does some people say I got a Samsung? They don't know what model they have. Sometimes they don't know. Some people say I got a Droid. So let's see. By the way, Rose support their devices. They could be near the top. And look at this. I mean, look at how. And I mentioned that in mobile conversations. I think it is. Not long ago. Not long ago. Whoa, big house. Hey, yes, we did. We're talking Motorola, but we're also talking about what's going in these Motorola's, and we're talking about what comes after the sale. And it's amazing. Not long ago, the excuse that we all heard was, well, the chip makers can only go and support these for so long. And magically, we have Samsung doing 4 years and 5 years, and the Tensor chip getting 3 on the that was the thing. Google was the one you could go and squeak out an extra year. You get an extra year of OS updates. Now it's 3 for the OS and 5 for security patches. And Motorola would get on the bandwagon and at least give us another freaking year at least. Then we could say, here's another alternative. What we got here? Facts on the support Moto G. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Facts is, yeah. But isn't that amazing? Isn't that just that was a I think personally, I think that was another I think I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but man, I really feel that they held back. They held back on that. And meanwhile, Apple just snuck in there. I mean, when did they turn up the wick? I'm just generally asking. It seems like it's been forever. Apple can support their phones for a ridiculous amount of time. Excuse me. Mm, this is water now, guys. Apple's been just killing it, just killing it, and meanwhile we look like a bunch of fool. Well, I won't say fools. Again, it goes back to that video I said, and with the Google Pay issue, and this is I play for a losing team, and some people say I'm being harsh on it, but think about it. But I enjoy Android to the point where I'm willing to put up with this nonsense. I don't know why I'm weird. I'm weird, but it's hard. And again, this if if you're watching this or watching this afterwards, I'm in the United States, so every time I turn around, there's a freaking iPhone, and I would like, you know what? I like to Travis MCP to try and get a Apple person to convert to Android. That would be epic. That would be epic. Big House, I don't know if you heard me talk about earlier. Travis MCP did another video on he got an iPhone and tried to convert a somebody from Android. Check that out. Like I said, later on, I'll put it the description at the bottom. So, what we got here? Apple keeps. My brother still has. Yeah. So, it's tough. It's tough. We got here. Max is. Apple is tight ecosystem. Google is fragmented and confused. Yes. How many chat services? Oh, my favorite subject there, Max. How many have they done? And how many or what we presently have? Why do I have such a freaking problem keeping Android messages to work on this Samsung phone? And wait a minute. I had this even Android messages crap out on me. I had to go and do the old go into the app settings, into the information where you got permissions and all of that, clear the cache, clear the data, it's like essentially resetting the app and go through the whole setup process on my Pixel. I'm again, I just don't get why we have so much trouble. And meanwhile, I know my iPhone, and other people, nobody else has this problem. It will not allow you to, even if the system that Android messages is kind of built on, it's using the same idea as the web based messaging. And when that craps out, I can't even send it by SMS. The message does not go through. I would feel personally, I would think that on an iPhone, it would at least convert it to SMS text. FaceTime and iMessage. How many people, funny you mention that, Gary and everybody out there, when you say that you're using, I did a video chat and they say, oh, you did FaceTime when you really didn't do FaceTime, Yeah. Yes, Max, it is old. It is old. Yes. And then finally, see, there's another thing there. Google Message is the default on Samsung Galaxy S22. So that's Samsung trying to, finally, I guess Google, Samsung, instead of fighting, They're finally joining. Finally. You like that gesture? Finally. My zen. um, they're finally getting it together. So would I'm looking at Max is a perfect one because he has a phone problem. And Big House, I don't know. I'm going to ask is you guys out there, have you had a OnePlus phone of lately? And if you did, just tell me if you still have it or not. I'm curious where is OnePlus fit in this conversation? Does it fit into the conversation? You know what? It'd be great is a comparison with an LG phone from the last batch of LG phones and do a photo comparison, an LG phone, whatever, the Velvet or what's that other one, the Wing. I think that was really their last phone. And do a photo comparison with that to the S22 Plus or the Ultra, because those phones are still out there at the moment. Not many, but I think they're still out there. Let's see. People are chiming in here. I picked up. I have to replace all the. So yeah, yeah. I mean, I wish Samsung needs to just let Bixby die. I want to try it, but I know I've managed to train myself to say the hot word and use the now I will admit saying hey G blah 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 is so fluent. Now I maybe I'm not giving Bixby a full chance. I did it once long ago. Bixby, I think, had an S9, and it was all right, but you're just so used to everything, all your Google services and all your Google stuff is tied in it, or at least it's easy to tie in. So yes, I get what you're saying about the Samsung apps and the Google apps. I reset on the same notification sound on everything. Let's see here. What is this? No, still have my 7. The OnePlus 7 Pro. Never had that. I had the OnePlus 7T, and I really, 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 really wish I never got rid of that. You do like the 10 Pro though, but the question is, when are they going to get on the ball, Big House, and bring their stuff over here? When was the last new phone they dropped? They haven't even brought a cheap phone. OnePlus hasn't even brought a, their Nord 10 whatever 5G, Nord 20 now. Seemed like they were kind of filling a niche for the inexpensive side. What was the last one I owned? Loved it. Well, so Max, why you still have the 9 Pro? Because you didn't put that in your list of stuff. And if you don't, why'd you get rid of it? Not sure which one is going. It seems like they're doubling down on foreign. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because Apple's trouncing it here in America, and Samsung's picking up the crumbs. So, and I wonder if that's a sign. I wonder if that's a sign for OnePlus. Are they going to pull out? No, yeah, there hasn't. There hasn't been. Now we're having this conversation. They were coming out with different version of budget phones after the 9 or before the 9 or just afterwards. Got rid of it, sold it to buy another phone. And that's where I came in with the 7T for me. I had to get rid of it to get the next phone. And I always wonder what it would have been like to have it to this day. So, We've been here for 49 minutes, and first off, I always say thank you, thank you, thank you. Please keep on commenting. I'm going to interject and stop in here, but there's just a few other things I did mention in my description. I want to just give you some channel news and talk to you about some things that have gone on of recently. Nothing. I'm fine. Family's fine. Everybody's fine. I think it's a sign. Remember when? Yeah, yeah. Because the camera's in the way. I have to do this. Sorry. Yeah, they were the new hotness. They really did. OnePlus was the hotness for T-Mobile. Remember the six? I remember was a 6T. Man, the big boo-ha they had in New York City, and now we kind of all lived through Rishi doing that experience. That was awesome. It was awesome to see another phone get so much press, so much eyes on it at the time. Um, okay. I heard the noise. It's hot up here, so I got the window open a little bit. So it's blowing in here. It's making noise. And I forgot that was open. I it's switching gears. I mentioned earlier that I'm on Twitter exclusively. I have left Facebook. I've left Instagram, and I never really took the time, and I didn't want to make a video, so I left for reasons of Mark Zuckerberg and his way of handling our data, way he handles our information, how he and I say he because it ends up on him. It ends up on him and his company on how his information and way it's used and the way it influences other events around the world. Uh, and I've been threatening about it. I've been talking about it, and I just couldn't get out. And every time I turn around, you would see, and it happened to my wife. Her account got hacked. I never seen a bunch of people's accounts getting hacked as much as it would be on Facebook. I don't know how many people that tried to think at or they what I never had, but I know I've got messages from people, and I'm like, "Oh, this ain't them. What are you talking about?" Hold on a second. There was some. What was the 8 Pro? Let's see what's this here. I think that it's a sign. Remember when I used to be exclusive? Yeah, yeah. Big House. What do you mean? You believe it was 8 Pro? I'm sorry, 8 and 8 Pro. Did I miss something here? And somebody here says Color OS was a mistake for OnePlus, and selling $1,000 phone hurts them too. Yeah, I stutter for a second, and I get it. I get the OS thing, and that's what made OnePlus so great. But how bad is Color OS? But just saying it now. How bad is it? I don't know. Gary's leaving Facebook. Good for you. Max agrees with Gary, and yeah, and Max left Facebook. Good, but as somebody like me who does YouTube and tries to show, hey, I got this phone, look what it can do, and right now I could live stream at the same time under my Facebook account and do a live stream at the same time but nobody cared. Nobody cared for whatever reason. The algorithm. I found myself personally at times trying to get the word out, but if I didn't pay, there was a paywall essentially. You had the free version. You had the free to get the word out about your company because that's how they really try and orchestrate it. But you had to pay to get any kind of eyeballs on it. And I was dumb enough to do that just to see what it would be like. But in the end, I can't give you all the facts right here. I don't have it right here. I just know that between that lady that came out and who was a whistleblower about how things were at Facebook, where 1 minute they're saying, yeah, we're going to fix our mistakes, and yeah, we did a bad thing, to only shut down her department and move her to a different section, to be able to influence a possible rebellion in in an African country through the messenger app. I had to stop. I couldn't. I had to say, "Was put my whatever my mouth, whatever. Stop, stop talking about it and just do it." Excuse me. Facebook makes money. Facebook is not free. They make money on you just going to their sites and doing whatever. I plead with my wife: do not click on the links. She sees something and she wants to go shopping off of it. They're making money off of that. Now, having said that, I struggled when I was about to hit the button, and I asked my brother, because my brother educated me on this stuff, and I said, "Well, why are you on Twitter?" Because Twitter really makes an attempt. It's all evil. Even this, the YouTube thing is has its degree of evilness. Okay, um, if you're watching and you don't pay for the premium service, you're going to have to watch commercials. And I don't get a penny of it because I don't have 1,000 subscribers and so many hours of watch time. So, but my brother said, and I feel it's true, in the time I've been there, you don't see anybody saying, "Oh, my account's gotten hacked." I think I can count maybe 5 times in the 5 years or 5 or 6 years I've been on Twitter. I can see somebody saying their account gotten hijacked. My wife is a perfect example. Her account was hijacked. She got us notice saying, "You got to log back in." And when I went to try and help her, and it said, the email address to this is something something at msn.com. And that was not her email address, because it would have been a Gmail or Yahoo address. What's this here? Do a short. Yeah. Yeah, I did a short, and I like that. And really it got eyes too. I did 2 shorts. Did I do 2? But yeah. Yeah, you're right, Gary. I should do more of them, and they're easy. They're easy to do. I meant T-Mobile Special 8 and 8. I gotta check that out. I want to get. I want to try. Don't I do, but I don't get another OnePlus phone and just see what this OS is all about, and then go back, maybe sell the phone or return it. I don't know. So that's one thing I've been wanting to talk about, and I've Joker Tech. What I'm stuck with now is a mistake, and I did it because I got cynical. I got really cynical of the tech community, and I I got cynical. I got sick of it, but I wanted to still keep abreast of things, and the Joker is just chaos. If you follow Batman and all that stuff, he just brought chaos to the world. They brought chaos to Gotham. And my brother, again, enlightened me that some people can construe that the Joker is the Joker, or it could be used and taken in a different way. So that's why I open up my videos saying, "Hi, I'm Mike Dixon," and that's who I am, and that's where I went wrong. I went wrong all about doing this YouTube, and I really, 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 I mean, this close from shutting down this very channel. But there's 800 right now, and 62 of yous. Not long ago, it was like 849. Okay. But there were 800 people plus people still sticking around with me. And I said, you know what? I just can't shut the channel down, because 800, some of yous are still sticking around to this minute. And I wasn't making videos. And I found myself realizing, just sit down, make a video. It doesn't have to get the glitz. It doesn't have to get the glamour. I l- I s- I treated it like a business because I listened to everybody else. Excuse me, I get dry. Dry throat. Okay. See this guy here? There's. I'm going to. Let's see what happens. I put you in timeout. There's some guy that comes dropping these, and I think they're links to porn sites. And now it's that no. Matt, what are you getting sick of it? Please clarify, Max, because I'm not now. Because I've had a few things. I had some revelations, but I'm curious what you're striving for. Keep finding yourself. You'll get yes, and thank you, Gary. Thank you. Yeah, I'm finding myself, and I just need to come here and make a video and do the best I can and go on to make the next one like I've done. I've done 3 of them and I got them all lined up for a Saturday 12 o'clock drop. And I'm not getting fancy, you know. Might change his camera view. I like this setup I discovered, using my webcam, and I'll just merely hold up the phone if I have to, and using this nice Blue Yeti mic. And I make the videos and I chop them up in an editor and don't make a big deal out of it. I again, another thing I feel that is missing here is I have too many phones and I don't have a good perspective of what it's like to be that average consumer. I don't think I have the, I've had this phone for a year and a half and it does, it's doing this, or this update is great. So, let's see. One question: why do you wear the headphones? Why do I hear? Yeah, I like to hear. I like to hear myself because you'll see myself go like this, or I use this as a gauge, and I don't know. And then if I had another person here, it's good to hear them, and then cuts out all kinds of noise or whatever's going on. Why do I wear? That's why I wear the headphones. The information is the most important thing, and yes, and that's what I'm trying to do, is get information out. If you notice, I did a video on this the Z Flip doing HDR 10 plus. The internet, the home internet here, I found it interesting. Uh, that's why I wanted to use the Pixel more, and I want to try to um keep probably the Pixel. If the time's coming, the time is coming where I'm going to have one phone. The iPhone line is prepaid on Mint Mobile, and I'm considering when it's up in August to just let go of the line, let go of the iPhone. I say I kept the iPhone so I know what's going on in the world of iOS. That's the next on the fence. The next thing I have to decide. The Pixel won out right now simply because it's the Google phone. And when Android, the people who are behind Android, when they bring something out, good or bad, I want to experience it and talk about it. The Z Flip is a phenomenal phone, and it breaks my heart that I'm probably going to wind up have to sell it to get to where I need to be, because it's expensive to do this too. It's expensive to do, go out and get a new phone. That's why I was like, oh, I really want to get a OnePlus phone just to see what this OS is. I'm trying not to. But if I did, I'll probably only have it for a short time and just return it. I hate to admit that, or sell it. So I had one other thing I wanted to share with y'all, and why my Twitter account Yes. Yes, it is very expensive. My favorite, I guess you're referring to the Flip. And, yes, thank you. Ask away, guys. Please don't hesitate. Um, one other instance I had, let me find his name. Sean Craig, I believe his name is. Let me see. And for the life of me, I cannot remember his. Sean. Starts with an S. There we go. Right here. Scary film. Sean Craig. When it comes in. Anyway, so he did a video. It's probably 6 months ago. And he talked about a certain subject about, I guess, how YouTubers are or something like that. And it really appealed to me. I was like, whoa, this is great stuff. I like what this guy's saying. I believe in him. I believe in him. That's why I want to get to where I'm at today about being on YouTube and how, we got the fanboys and the what I was going to call the brand fools or whatever, the people who are, you know, the Samsung Knights, the Apple iPhone shrills and all that other stuff. So I took his video and I said, please check this video out, or something like, check this video out. This is good stuff. And I tagged a whole bunch of YouTubers. In there. And I'm going to leave them nameless right now. But people that I kind of follow. No, I did follow. And I kind of not looked up, but I was part of I joined their conversations. I follow what they're saying. I took time out to watch their videos. And they really come back at like going, who's this fool? Why is this guy bringing me in this conversation? And then the kicker was this one YouTuber says, well, that's 10 minutes of my life I'm never going to get back. Whoa, hold on. Did you listen to what he said? Oh, maybe what they said is he's making that part of you suggesting, maybe you took it as that's you're part of the problem. No, I was calling you guys to support and share and make a comment to him and listen to what he had to say. But no, the guards are up, shields are up. Okay. And it was like, oh my God, I was in such a Twitter shitstorm in plain English. I deleted my account. I was mortified. I was completely like, this is not how I want to be. I was a babbling fool to Sean, whatever, and I just apologized until I was blue in the face, and a few other people, and they all said it's okay. They were cool. He's still cool. We kibitz once in a while. You know what I mean? But that's when I was that moment where I'm like going, this ain't working out. I gotta like. That's where Facebook, Instagram went out. I killed Simply Your Device. Forgot the Twitter account, and I'm on my own personal one. When I started Twitter 6 years ago, I guess. So for some of you who like Big House, for example, I know Big House was following me on as Simply Your Device, and I made a mistake changing the name to the channel from Simply Your Device to Joker Tech because I got frustrated. I got angry. I don't know what other adjective or words I could possibly say here, but I just want to explain. And if anybody, sees this video and explains why or where I'm at, I cannot change Joker Tech. I can't change the name. I don't want to leave the 800 plus people who have stuck around this long. And I just live with my errors and just keep on making videos. And eventually If something comes out of it, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. Something good, like I go into the next level of sub count above that 1,000. I like to see the numbers go up. It ain't a complete drive, but the only affirmation that I get from it is I must be doing something right. For each time somebody clicks that sub button, that means, all right, they like my content. And the ones I see that click out, I go, darn. So this is the new mic. This is the new Mike Dixon. This is the new Simply device. I like that name, but it ain't me. Simply device was cool, but that was the business side of Mike. This isn't business. This is for fun. So let's see what we got going on here. Okay. So I want to round it. I want to end this soon. Max, thank you for joining the team, joining the gang. See, Big House, always thank you for stopping by. Gary, thank you. Rez, I don't know if you're still here hanging out. You're cooking dinner or burning down the kitchen. Thank you very much, Brian. You always show up. I appreciate the support as always. I'm going through here. Keisha, Keisha was in here. Who else? Anybody else here? So, yeah. You guys got any last questions or comments or anything like that? Please hit me up while the stream is live. What else I got going on? That's about it. I don't think I got to figure out what my next subject is going to be to make I got the next two in the can, as I call it. Thank you. I am keeping my head up. Thank you. You know, and I again, there was moments for me. Mike's mobile opinion. Think about that. I like that. Here. Let me put that up there. Thank you. That's cool. Mike's mobile opinion. All right, that's a good one. Maybe I can change that on my Twitter handle too. What was I going to say? Shucks, it left me that quick because you guys hit me with comments on which are thank you. Keep my head up and yeah, I'm going to just keep on doing what I'm doing. Like I said, I went through a time like I some of you who are here, I'm in my attic, essentially. Part of my studio is really part of my or my 2 cents. So I had a roof put on, and that was a disaster. I couldn't make YouTube content. I could have made it, but the house. Well, actually, they screwed up the roof. They screwed up putting the roof on, and then the second time the contractors came out to replace the new roof they put on, they proceeded to put holes in various parts of my house. I had through this door that keeps on banging is the attic, and they put their foot through the what I have what's this stuff board, yeah, plasterboard, and then they put a hole in my kitchen. They tore up the soffits around here. Yeah, it was a nightmare, and I couldn't concentrate. Work was killing me. You know, you'll find me working crazy hours, and that's why sheetrock. Thank you. Ding 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 ding. He gets the prize. So oh yeah, thanks Gary. Thanks. And by the way, Will would have been here, but he's working as always. Man, that guy just puts me to shame about work. Holy cow. So it was just like, man, just takes the mojo out of you. It was something. I had a problem making the video for the HDR about the video on the HDR for the Z Flip. And, you know, just one problem just kind of like took took the script out. It just the problem is, and I had trouble. HDR uses a different codecs, and what you saw in that video is about the most I can get out of it. Because my editing program did not recognize that codecs, and it would not put lay it down to let me make a video, and just stuff like that. It just now it's turning into work. You know what I mean? This is not meant to be work. This is meant to be doing this for fun. I used to play with cars, as I mentioned before. Used to get dirty. Used to replace everything on my cars, from engines to transmissions, back in my younger day. And I don't want to do that. I want to make it fun. What's this here? Are you thinking about making a career out of this channel? Yeah. Well, that was the problem there, Max. I thought, yeah, this is it. I'm going to do a career change, and that's where I went wrong. That's where I got. This is what I did in the early days of my early videos. That's what I was constantly doing. I would work and come home and try to edit a video or work on a video and get one shot and edit the next day. I really would like to try and get back to, and this is going way, way back. I would actually sit in my car during lunch and shoot video, kind of like a news brief on stuff, the news of the day. Come home, edit, and upload it. And that would really catapulted me for my first 500 subscribers in plain English. And I had some other YouTubers take an interest to me and take a liking to me, and I'm like going, woof, this is going to be this is it. And I would tell my wife, my wife, I'm working towards this, and work is just going to pay the bills for now, until I get to that part where in my life that can take care of the bills and everything else. And I guess I got disfranchised or disenchanted or whatever, whatever, and cynical and disappointed. And life happens, and well, enough is enough. Anyway, I'm going to end it here. I said my thank yous to everybody, and I will thank you all again for stopping by. Put the word out on a replay crew, come back and see. Leave comments, tell people, leave comments, start the conversation. I love replying to comments. And also, if they were worthy, maybe they give me material like this past weekend, just today's video. There were comments on the T-Mobile and how I said some things, and I had no problem. Bud was not getting under my skin, but Bud did give me a spark, saying I got to clarify something. So pass it around. All right. I'm Mike Dixon. This is my YouTube channel. I want to say thanks one more time, and I'm going to hit the end broadcast in 3, 2, 1.